Hi, welcome to Donegal Dad. I'm Mark. Today we're going to be looking at the layout I'm building for the museum, and we're going to be adding the finishing touches to it. So today I'm going to be adding some more ballast to this area here for these Hornby engine sheds and water tower I'm putting in place here. I'm going to paint some lines on the platform edges and on the roadway and the car park using these paint pens, and I'm going to do some static grass in the field area over here. You can see I've spread the ballast out. I've put some masking tape around the edges so it gives me a nice clean edge. For the ballast, I'm just using this aquarium gravel. It's very fine aquarium gravel, does the job. So now we're going to soak it. This is just water. Give it a good soak. You can see on there where some of it's come through, so we just cover up the thinner parts, just spread a bit of ballast on there just to fill it all in. Give it another spray. And what I've got here is just a mix of PVA glue, water, a little bit of washing up liquid. It's in a bottle like you would get in a restaurant for serving out ketchup or mustard or something like that. And I'm just going to squirt this on. So make sure it gets a good covering. It'll all soak into the ballast. Work your way methodically so you know exactly what area you've covered. I'm going to leave that dry now for a good 48 hours and then come back and vacuum up any excess, and that should be it set. So I'm going to put a white line down the center of this street on here. For that I'm using a paint pen. This has got a 0.7mm nib on it, so it should give you a line around the correct scale for 00 gauge. I've already pencil drawn in the center line, and now I'm just going to put my straight edge up against it. And using the paint pen, just draw a line. And pull the ruler away carefully. And we have our line. Now once that's dried, I can put stop line at either end. I'm also going to put double yellow lines down either side as well, using a yellow pen. For the car park, I've done a similar thing. I've marked out the parking bays. I used a coffee stirrer and marked it off in 8-foot sections, because the standard size for a car parking space in the UK is 8 foot by 16 foot. So I just marked it off 8 foot across, 16 foot down, and then I'll just go over them with a straight edge and a paint pen to mark them out. There's most of the lines drawn in now for the car parking, the centre line down the street. I put some yellow lines on the platform edges. If, like here, where you have a little bit of an overspill when you're drawing your line, if it bleeds underneath the ruler or a straight edge, you can just touch it up with a bit of the tarmac paint, just to give you a fresh, clean, straight line. So we'll move on now to doing some static grass. So I want to put some static grass in this area here. Now when you look at a field, you will find that the grass in the centre and the grazing area will be shorter than around the edges. So I'm going to put some longer grass around the fence and then shorter grass. So it's going to be about 6 mil grass around the fence and then some 2 mil grass in the main field area. So I've spread glue on the area where I want the static grass. For this I'm using some Pico 6 mil grass. I'm using spring grass and summer grass, a mixture of the two. I'll take my applicator along with the grounding pin. So I attach this to a screwdriver. It just makes it easier to hold. Ground it. It's on, and we just go over the area. It's got a good covering. Now we take a vacuum on a low power with a stocking over the end, and we just vacuum up any excess. This can also help any static grass that hasn't stood up quite straight to pull it into alignment. Now you can see we've recovered some static grass that we can use again. Let's do the 2 mil grass now. For this I'm using Woodland Scenic 2 mil grass, light green and a dark green mixture. Again, I got my grounding pin. I switch on the applicator and just shake it over. There we go. Now it's going to need touching up in places, but if you do a small section at a time and work your way methodically around the area you want to static grass, it just makes it much easier. So I've gone over it once or twice with the vacuum up the excess, then just apply a little bit more static grass on the bald spots. And I think it's turned out quite well. So we've got a nice shorter grazing grass here, some of the longer grass here around the fence posts. So I'll carry on now doing that in the rest of this field. There's the static grass complete on that field. You can see how the different shades make it look a bit more realistic, and having the different lengths around the fence posts. If you're having any issues with your static grass, quite a common one is that it doesn't seem to be standing up properly. First thing you can do is actually make sure your static grass applicator is working. So if you take the terminal, just tap it off the grill, you should hear a little crack. You might even see a spark. That tells you that's working. If it's not, then maybe get a new battery. If that is working and you find it's not standing up correctly, you need to make sure that the grinding pin is actually in the puddle of glue to complete the circuit to give you the static grass effect. If you find it still not standing up, what you can do once the hopper is empty and it's on is just pass it over to help raise the grass up again. Failing that, you can use the vacuum cleaner method, just on a gentle low setting over to help the grass pop up. The other issue might be that the glue is actually too thick. I use PVA glue. What I do is I water it down slightly and paint it on, and it seems to give a much better coverage and enables the grass to stand up vertically in it. So I hope you find that useful, doing the static grass, some of the line painting on the layout here. So please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.